For our math activity, students are going to be using a piece of string about the length of their wingspan to measure the outside of the perimeter of the school. So they're going to use that as their measurement unit. So what we're going to need obviously is the string or the yarn, and then students are going to be in pairs of 2 or maybe a group of 3, depending on class size. So what they're going to do is they're going to cut the string and they're going to look at it and they're going to estimate how many times they think that they would need to stretch it out to get all the way around the school. So this will be their measurement unit. And then they're going to head outside and be put to work, and they're going to have to use their groups of 2 or 3 and stretch out the string and see how many times it takes to get all the way around the school. So this will work on communication because a lot of the groups are probably going to cross paths. We're going to try to start them all at different points around the school just to keep them spread out. And then as a teacher, definitely setting super strict boundaries about where the students can and can't go, because they are going to be outside and you can't watch all of them at once. If you have a group that might be a little bit more, silly and not always listen, you can definitely do this on a field so that you can watch all of them at once. So you can stand in the middle and they can measure the perimeter of the field. And yeah, this is a great activity for estimation and measurement and communication.
Let's talk about the learning objectives of this assignment. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to estimate reasonably, reasoning and analyzing, develop and use multiple strategies to engage in problem solving, that's understanding and solving, and communicate effectively with each other and work in collaboration. That's the communicating core competency. So, we'll know that students can estimate reasonably if they can engage in this objective through planning estimations before they start their activity portion. The activity could be supplementing a smaller version done just around the classroom and estimate the school perimeters scaled up. So they could build on that competency. The developing and using multiple strategies to engage in problem solving could be engaged in through when the students are working together in pairs to measure around the school or field. If there are challenging aspects to physically measuring the school, or if there are factors that were not calculated prior to the activity, the students could develop and use multiple strategies to engage in problem solving around this. Another way students would learn this objective is through calculating after they have their numbers from the school measurement. Maybe they have a unique way of tracking their progress around the school and remembering the value, or maybe they come up with a better method of achieving the assignment goal. The last learning objective, the communicate effectively with each other and work in collaboration. Students will learn this through effective communication while they're engaging in this activity, because since they're in pairs, so much relies on effective and patient communication. They learn collaboration through working in pairs or in small teams, and the assignment could be performed as a whole class rather than in pairs if the time needs to be adjusted, and each team is responsible for just one section of the school instead. So this assignment is very versatile, as you can see.
All right, let's talk about assessing, reviewing, and reflecting on this math activity. The first thing we need to do is do an overview of the worksheet. So we're going to look at their total perimeter and see if it's accurate. We're going to compare their measurement with the actual measurement that the teacher has measured or the dimensions of the building. We're going to make sure that they added up the perimeter correctly. This is a chance for us to assess and review. And then we'll move into an entire class discussion. So we'll invite a few pairs or anyone that would like to share their measured perimeter. And then we're going to discuss the differences they noticed. And then this is a great opportunity to explore why their measurements might vary. Was it because maybe there was uneven ground, or maybe their arm spans weren't consistent with a full meter? So we're going to kind of talk about those inconsistencies. And then the next thing we'll move on to is the pair discussion. So we're going to get them to group group up with their pairs and we'll give them some prompt questions on how did they work as a team? What could they change in the future, the next time, to improve their strategy? What was difficult and challenging for them? Just some questions to kind of prompt their teamwork and collaboration. And then lastly, we would do a class reflection where we would talk to the whole class again and we would ask like questions like, was using your arm span and string measuring tool effective? Why or why not? How could this activity relate to real world scenarios? So for example, we might discuss like landscapers or construction workers, like why they might need to measure perimeters. And then just overall, this activity is designed to help with their math skills, teamwork, and real world problem solving, making it, a great experience for all of your students.